And welcome to another stream of What the Tech, brought to you by Global Tech Worldwide. And over here, wait, where is he? He's over there now.
I'm over here.
He's right over there. And over here, this is a guy who always rides shotgun in all the streams we have, Dave Kelly.
Hey everybody, Rolando. I'm pretty sure that's a country song. Something about
Is that right?
shotgun rider. Yeah.
I don't. You know what? I only know a handful of country songs, so I apologize. I'm not that. I know some. Right? I don't know all of them, but I know some. Billy Ray Cyrus, maybe I'll take a stab. Huh? No.
Yeah. Nope. It's Faith Hill's husband. I don't know.
Oh, Faith Hill. So if you know who Faith
Tim
Hill's
McGraw.
husband,
Tim McGraw.
there you go. I was going to say somebody, the community, go ahead and chat us and let us know. So we have some interesting stuff for you today. We've got the PolySync, which is formerly known as Plantronics. We're going to do some serious testing on that device. We're going to show you a lot of stuff that you may not have seen before. It's a fairly new device. They released it around November of last year. But it's rolling out, and as it's rolling out and becoming more available, we thought we'd bring you some interesting things that you could do with it, some things that will really show you what makes this different and why should you even care. So that's one of the reasons why we do this, so you don't have to spend hours reviewing other sites and going through pages of stuff to look at and make a decision. So at least hopefully this today will help you make that decision. Don't you hate that, Dave, having to go through and spend hours on reviews and then make a bad decision anyways?
Not every product is this. They're not. There's a handful of really good speakerphones that are out there. They're all a little bit different. They're not all the same. I'm looking forward to this review because there's definitely some features that this product has that some of the competitors in the market aren't offering. So I'm looking forward to this, and I hope our viewers are too.
I am. So let's get right to it because I want to try to make sure we get it all in today. There's a lot of stuff that we got to get through. So let's go ahead and jump right into the trivia question. Go ahead, Ori. Let's put that up. All right. So with everything going on with COVID, with being at home, we thought let's take a look and see where folks are really spending their time right now. And so we wanted to find out which of these websites has the most visitors, or has the visitors spend the most time every single day. How much time do they actually spend on these 5 websites? So that's Google, YouTube, Amazon, Facebook, or Zoom. Stay tuned and find out at the end. We'll reveal the answer.
I thought we'd have globaltech.com up there as one of the options.
We're not quite a multinational like those companies that are on there. We're climbing our way. Slowly but surely, we're climbing our way. So let's get right into it. So we've got a treat here with the Polycom Sync 20. This is a speakerphone that Poly released. Now, there's a lot of other products on the market. We brought actually a couple as well that you may have seen and familiar with. We sell as well. By the way, if you're watching us on Amazon Live, we're featuring the Polycom Sync right in the carousel. And as we're talking, if you feel like going compelled to buy them, we've got them in stock. And by the way, Dave, this item, even it's a new item, it's hard to get. There is not a lot of availability. So if you're watching us today and you want to pull the trigger, you may want to do that real quickly because we may sell out of it today. We have some stock, but it's moving pretty fast from what I can see.
Yeah, they are a hot commodity for sure.
They are. And, we've had customers contact us from everywhere, and they're certainly wanting to get this item. So let's jump right in. Oh, I have something here that I want to share with our audience today. I thought would be interesting right before we do the unboxing. Dave, that Microsoft is scheduled to retire Skype for Business in 5 months, July 31st. That's 165 days away. And I thought I'd just pass that along to our audience who are either on Skype for Business or looking at Teams or migrating to Teams. You have about just 165 days to be exact. And after that, you need a device that will work on Teams, both headset if you want to continue using some of those features. If you're looking for a phone, we also offer several Teams enabled phones. Not a lot of folks are looking for desk phones, but if you need one, we have them as well. We'd love to help you out on your journey if you need to migrate to Teams. So let us turn to Poly. And as we go to the close cam here, Ori, you can cue that one up. I'll let our folks know that they can chat with us online, send us any questions that you have as the show goes through, and we'll be glad to answer those questions for you. And if some come up after the show, we'll also go ahead and contact you and respond accordingly. So let's go right to it. So we've got here, that's what I put this down here as a reminder for me. I want to, before we just start this polysync, I want to give some props to our folks that do sourcing, because I knew I would forget, so I put it down here. We've moved from a lot of this plastic material that's not eco-friendly and got rid of it. And now we're moving over to this recyclable material, this sustainable material. So I just want to give props to our sourcing team, in particular Sarah, who spent a ton of months trying to source this for us. More to come on that. So big props to Sarah on our new packaging and our new logo. Well, that's eco-friendly. So thank you, Sarah, for that. We appreciate all that hard work. And I'm sure the environment will appreciate that hard work. So unboxing, Polycom Sync. This comes in a couple of different flavors. So it comes in a Microsoft edition, which essentially would be the version you would use for your Microsoft Teams. And it would also come in what's known as the UC version, or let's just call it the standard version, which works across all the other platforms. Now, the Microsoft edition, what's cool about it is you get a bunch of features that allow it to work with Teams, not just seamlessly, plug and play, but a whole bunch of them. We've done another review. I don't really call it a review because we did quite a rundown on Microsoft Teams. Ori, if you could gather the link for that Microsoft Teams thing we did and just throw it into the chat so people can have it and they can go to that later on. Okay, so they also come in the, let's call it the basic version without the dongle and with the dongle. That's why I have the dongle here separately. And we've also talked exclusively and extensively on the dongle and how it really helps you out. If you plan on using it with a PC, it helps cut down on audio problems and a whole bunch of other things. If you want, we have also a review on that and why this dongle is really important when you're using it with the PC, if you want to be wireless. Now, the Sync 20 does come with a USB, so I'm just going to take it out of the box. It does come with a USB cable, so you can also go corded. It comes in this nice little pouch with the quick start guide. Let me see if I can put it the right side. All right, comes with a quick start guide, very easy to, and let me just move the microphone a little closer so you can hear me a little better. Dave, can you hear me fine?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, just want to make sure you can hear me. All right, comes with a quick start guide. Shows you what those buttons are, what they do, how to use it. I will just tell you that I've been using the Polycom Sync for the last 3 weeks, Dave, and I have been thoroughly impressed with the Polycom Sync for several reasons. I find that the audio is quite rich. The voice is very rich. Well, let me see if we can, there we go. And the form factor is a very interesting form factor because most of the other speakerphones in its class are round in shape. And one thing what we should mention to our audience, Dave, is that it would be an injustice if we just said this type of device sounds great, it's at this price, and therefore it's better or less good, if I could use it that way, than other devices. It's really a professional, for that business professional that wants to use really an upgraded type of speakerphone, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, this is Poly's next generation of speakerphones. So they're kind of a step above their competition here. They're taking a risk with their form factor. They don't want to be another Me Too form factor. And you know, I think what I'm seeing there is it's kind of shaped like a smartphone, wouldn't you say? Maybe
I would say
about the same size.
I would say so. And I'm going to grab my smartphone, and that's why I have a ruler here as well, so that people could see it. And in the box, you also get this really cool little lanyard. I don't see anything like this with any other speakerphone, because they've really designed it to be a device that you can take with you. And I could tell you from my own personal use in the last several weeks, I haven't used the lanyard, but because it's been colder now, I've thrown it just right in my jacket or thrown it in my backpack as I go walking. And the sound is great because I know using my speakerphone, on my phone is probably, it doesn't sound the same. And just so you could see, I've got a Google Pixel 5G phone here. And you can see they're about the same size. This obviously is thicker, but it has that kind of smartphone profile. And my understanding is that Poly did a lot of focus groups around what users like, what they don't like, what was the problem with other devices. And I suspect, I don't know for sure, that form factor was one of those things. And as we talk about form factor, and before we jump to some of the other things on this device, I just want to show you the form factor on its competitors. And I'll just say something about the competitive devices. I've used all of them. I like them all. They do the job from a business standpoint. They certainly sound good. They do the job. They'll connect you to your business app. But this is definitely different. Like you said, this is kind of a risk because it's brand new. And although the focus groups may have said they liked it, we'll have to see what the general public thinks about that. And being the shape of a smartphone, it fits in the size of the hand a little bit easier to me. It feels more natural because it's a very easy transition to go from this to this, to hold it in your hand.
Yeah, it's almost like they think that the workers will use this while holding it, like people would hold a cell phone and maybe use their speaker. That seems like a natural way to hold it. The lanyard, just in case you were to let it go, it wouldn't hit the ground there.
Yeah, and
certainly
it's got a spot
something
here for the
easier.
lanyard.
Yeah,
And that's where you would hook it in.
And I don't think you could necessarily have some of those other devices, kind of holding it in your hand. It wouldn't be natural. You'd be kind of overstretching.
Yeah, it does feel different when you're holding something. A lot of folks refer to this as the hockey puck design. And a lot of businesses, including ours, we've used this. And there's nothing wrong with any of these devices. I think Polycom has taken this to the next level. And before we get into some of those other features, one of the other things that I wanted to say on this was that, just give me a second here. Before we get to features, was that this, here's it looks like a speaker. It has this kind of, it's kind of a jeans kind of material.
Yeah, like a denim.
Exactly. And here's what's interesting is that if you look at the case on my Google Pixel, it's got a similar style. I don't know if it's the new Silicon Valley type of thing where they're like, the designers for Silicon Valley, like going to this more natural kind of, I don't want to say earthy because that's not really earthy, but a more casual look. Because everything else, if you look at these other devices, they're black. This is, I don't know how it shows up on your screen, but it's a kind of washed blue denim material. So it definitely gives it a different look than the rest, and also lining up from left to right. So before we jump into the features, I just wanted to point a little bit of that out. Dave, did you want to add on anything that I just said, or?
No. I mean, I've had this in my hand. It is kind of like a bluish, smoky color. You'll certainly stand out from the pack with one of these Poly syncs.
All right. So before we get into more of the rest of the features and what you get with this, we want to show folks there's really three areas here that we want to talk about. We want to talk about the sound, how this sounds, and we're going to show you a little bit of that. And we want to also first go to the internal. We did an internal mic test. So what you sound like on the speakerphone versus what you sound like on one of these Polycom speakerphones, as well as we also recorded this on the native microphone for a native microphone on a PC. And so, Ori, you want to go ahead and cue that up? All right, love it. So get your headphones on. You're going to hear the nuances of the voices that are recorded on these next couple of clips. These are short clips with recorded audio. So you'll hear, I believe, Ori, we have first the smartphone. Is that what we've got first? And then the PC, and I believe the last one is with the sync. Is that right? I think that's how we have it on the schedule, but If I'm wrong, you'll get to see that. Ori, go ahead and roll that when you can. This is a recording using the native speakerphone on the Google Pixel phone. I will read a short passage. How does your brand sound? When you engage coworkers or clients, your audio reflects on you and your brand. So why not try to achieve the best sound possible to make your brand stand out? There you go. So that's the speakerphone. That sounds like just a speakerphone.
Yeah.
So let's roll it to the next clip. This is a recording using the PolySync 20 along with the Google Pixel phone. I will read a short passage. How does your brand sound? When you engage coworkers or clients, your audio reflects on you and your brand. So why not try to achieve the best sound possible to make your brand stand out? There you go. And so I do hear a little bit more richness in that. I do hear more of the lower register of the frequency and the voice in that, which is what we wanted to show you. It's harder, again, if you're listening to us on your smartphone and you may be listening to us on your PC speaker, it may be a little bit more difficult to hear that lower register, but you do get that lower register on that. What did you hear, Dave?
I think it sounds really good. You know, when you use this, when you were using the speakerphone on your smartphone, you hear that tinniness. You know, it's not a rich sound. It's kind of hollow, and it's like slightly metallic, slightly tinny. But when you use that speakerphone, you can tell immediately that it's just you're hearing more of the available, sound. So yeah, it sounds a lot better.
Now, what I want to do, Dave, is I want to play something back on this so that people can hear the audio. But I just realized the unit that I have set up on my phone, I've got it outside set up for our dunk test. So I'm going to throw it back to you for about 30 seconds while I go grab that unit because it's sitting outside. And I tried to power this one up and it hasn't been charged because we just took it out of the box.
Right. So what I'll tell the audience here is, you know what, these devices, I mean, we'll see it because we're doing some testing again with water, but you can feel comfortable knowing that, it is protected. I wouldn't leave my cell phone outside with any bad environment, with any precipitation at all. I hear Rolando kind of coming in and outside right now. Leaving that outside, it's an expensive device. But I think what our tests will show is that with a more expensive commercial product, that it will withstand some of these elements from Mother Nature. So he's setting that up, and so I think what Rolando is going to show us is some of the music. We've been really impressed with this. You know what? It's more than just a conference speaker. It's going to follow you on the weekends. It's going to follow you during your lunch break. Play some music. Have some fun with it. Life doesn't have to be so stressful. But what Rolando's going to be showing us is that sound quality. The bass, I know, sounds really, really good. Good job on that, Pauly. But when, I'm talking a lot about it, I'm interested in actually hearing it. And it sounds like he's got something playing right now.
Okay, I'm back.
All
so
right.
The next thing that we want to show people, because the after what you sound like, you want to know what it sounds like when you're listening to, whether you're listening to an audio file, you're doing a webinar, or you're on Zoom, you're listening to people. I got to tell you, this is one of the things as we go through. One of the things I'm very impressed. Let me back up. Listen up. This is another one, Ori. Maybe you want to throw the listen up here before we move. Love it. Listen up. This thing of the things that I love about it. There are very few products that I get excited about like this because, Dave, you and I have been doing products and working with toys like this for years.
Yeah.
The improvement made on the receive audio quality is not like the others that I have here in front of you we compared it to. I was surprised and stunned at how much better. The bass, especially again the low register on the receive side. So what you're hearing from a voice perspective when you're in a Zoom call, when you're listening to music, when you're maybe doing some remote learning, and what you're hearing from the lecturer, it really makes it come to life. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just try to move this microphone close to this Polycom sync. You know what? I'm just going to grab it and let it play. That way we don't have to monkey around with it. And I'm going to play a little bit of music. Now, again, if you have some headphones, you'll hear this a lot better. And then I'll play it on the speakerphone so you can hear the difference. All right, so that's the audio on it. How did you hear that, Dave?
It sounded phenomenal. Yeah, it sounded really good. I know that you liked how it sounded. I think I think your dance moves say it all.
So now we're gonna play that same segment on the speakerphone so that folks can hear the difference. All right. So let's not do that. It's still going through the Bluetooth side. So let me take that off. Oh. That's the wrong one. We don't want Nicky Jam on there right now. Okay. Now, Dave, you're on the other side, so you can hear that.
Yeah.
Now, so you can hear that a little bit better than like the audience is hearing it than I am. What do you think about that?
My biggest pet peeve is anyone that plays music directly through their phone. It sounds bad. It ruins the vibe. No one is having a good time. No one can hear it. No one wants to dance to it.
You're right. So I don't know if Ori, we didn't rehearse this on the. If we have anything for rocket ratings that we could put on there, I would give it a 5. I know this is completely audible, but if you don't have it, that's fine. If you do, great. I would give it a 5 for sound in terms of sound quality. When I compare that to these other very good speakers, again, these others are good devices. These are not bad devices. This one just took it to the next level. And I would imagine that knowing how Sennheiser, which is EPOS, Jabra, and their team eventually will come out with something like that. Right now, that's not the case. All right. So, Dave, any further points on the audio before we jump into the features?
I love the new technology because it keeps the competition on its toes. So that's exactly what you just said. Those other folks, they're not going to sit back. They'll come out with their next gen stuff that will sound just as good, if not better.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So let's move into the next portion of the show here, which is features. Again, what we're showing you is a device made for professionals. And as a professional, one of the things that I would want is something that can go with me wherever I go. And that's one of the things that I would say I would give this a 5 rocket rating. Ori, can you go to the close cam? Okay, so on this one, this is the one that we were just playing. I'm just going to move these other guys out of the way. The Poly comes with what's known as IP64 rating. So what that means, it's been tested at a lab somewhere where they tested the dust-proof capability as well as the waterproof capability. So IP64, the 6 stands for the dust. It's fully, thank you, Ori. The 6 stands for the dust. It's fully protected from dust getting into the internal parts. So you don't ever have to worry about if you leave it on the shelf or you leave it at home or you take it on the road. You know, Dave, if I know we're not traveling as much, but if you go through airports a lot, like I was back, just over a year ago, going in and out of hotels and in airports and on the plane, your stuff gets dusty.
Yeah, I mean, just ownership, just years of ownership.
Right.
thing's going to get dirty.
And so this is fully protected. It won't get inside the internal components, which means it will survive all of the dust that comes through. There's no dust. It's rated so that it's essentially dust proof. The next piece is at 64, the waterproof, which has to do with the water. So now what this means, and we're going to get to this in a little bit, is how well does it stand up to water? And what it should do is we should be able to pour water or splash water from any angle. We're not putting, there's another level up that allows it to be protected against like forceful water with jets. That's not what we're doing here. Most people are not going to take a fire hose and push water into a device. That's very, very, very few people that have that need. But most people want that protection against spills. Well, I've taken my cup, and if I spill it, I'm not going to ruin it yet for the audience. If I accidentally knock over my tea or coffee or some other beverage, it's not going to ruin the device. And I don't know if I could say that about these other devices, right? I don't think they have any waterproof capability. You know, Jabra, Sennheiser, EPOS, Yealink, you're more than welcome to come on our show and let us know. Maybe that's not there, but maybe your next one is. So this is the other thing that I really love about this device, Dave. I can take it with me. And if I take it with me and I go for a walk, I take my dog with me and it starts raining, it's not going to get ruined. I don't have to worry about it getting ruined. The IP64 rating means that's pretty much it. You know, some rain coming down is not going to ruin the device. I don't have to worry about covering it. I could put it on the lanyard and put it around my wrist and keep going, or throw it in my backpack and go, and I'm fine. I'm going to be cool. Or if in my bag, which has happened to me before, my go bag when I'm through the airport, I happen to have a liquid in there and it gets squished in the overhead compartment or something and it pours out. It's not going to ruin the device. Again, another awesome butt kicking feature that is unbelievable. I can't believe they put it in here. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I don't have the same confidence when I'm outside with my cell phone. So if you were outside and it was raining, your cell phone is in your pocket, you can confidently have this in your hand and just be comfortable that it's not going to fail.
Absolutely. So let's also talk about some of these other things that are really cool. Now, these are just the cool parts that are a little bit closer to what some of these other guys have. Besides the waterproof, besides the sound, you have business apps. So business apps is, let me put the other one up here. This is the one that we took out of the box. On this device, you have a customizable button that you can either launch apps. You can, in the case we were playing music, we can stop it. We can pause it. It comes with a companion software. You definitely want to take advantage of it. You want to download the Plantronics Hub app either on your mobile device or you download it to your PC. Either way, you'll be able to customize this button, which is called the rocket button. And that's why they put that orange tag on there so that you would know. Let's see. Ooh, there it is. Customize in Poly software, which is the Plantronics Hub or Poly Hub.
Yeah.
But I don't know, whenever you end up watching this, if it's 6 months later, they may change the software app to Poly Hub, but right now it's known as Plantronics Hub. And so this sticker just comes off and it reveals a rocket, which is on this the unit that I was using to play music earlier. Let's see. There we go. You can kind of see it.
There it is.
There we go. There it is. So that button allows you to customize the way you want to use this device. If you wanted to, do some of those multimedia functions, absolutely take advantage. Again, I'll repeat it. Take advantage of the Plantronics Hub software. You will definitely enjoy this device much better than if you took it out of the box and just used it. You get a lot more out of it. Dave, did I miss anything on that, or do you want to add to?
I just think it was smart of Poly to put that sticker there, because I mean, let's be honest. Not everyone looks at the quick startup guides, but you can't miss that sticker. You're not going to miss that sticker.
You can't. Hey, Poly, you guys did that one right. Give you some credit for that. Another thing that I didn't know until I started using it was that this device has up to 20 hours of talk time.
Wow.
That is phenomenal. It's a much bigger battery than the other devices. And guess what, Dave? Not only that, but something that's really cool that's not on any of these speakerphones, not yet, is that it comes with a charging port. You want to show that? There we go. So you can charge your phone with this device.
Oh, nice.
So if you're on the go, you're traveling, and you want to have the ability to maybe give your phone some extra juice, Poly thought of it. I know that came out of one of their focus groups. I heard that they heard that loud and clear. People didn't want to carry multiple devices to charge their phone and one for their speakerphone, and so they built an extra large battery in here so that you could use this as essentially like a battery pack.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how well that works. In my experience, even if it maintains your battery, if I'm at 30%, I'm jumping in a meeting, I plug that into my phone, even if after the call, an hour-long meeting, if I still have about 30%, maybe 32, 34, hey, that's great. It doesn't necessarily have to charge your phone all the way up, but even if it can just maintain your phone so that you can keep doing business.
Well, let me ask you this. How many times have you gotten off a plane only to realize you're at 5% battery, and then you can literally make one call?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make one call.
And you need to make a phone call before you get the rental car, and you don't have time to sit down and charge anything. So that's a great feature.
It's a great feature. So I really, this is I would say the third thing that is really is it separators? That's not the right word. What am I thinking of? Distinguishing. It really sets it apart. This is the third feature that sets it apart from the others, is the ability to charge your phone, the sound quality you get when you're listening, and the waterproof capability. All right, let's jump into the next piece. Multimedia button. I did talk about that, the rocket button, multimedia button. Another small thing, but I'm a guy that loves buttons. I like buttons because I know when I'm touching something, that's exactly what it is. And so if we go to the close-up cam, Ori, on the PolySync, the power button, let me move it into focus here. The power button has its own button. It's a dedicated button. All these others have virtual buttons, essentially a touch button. In this case, you have a real power button. You can touch it. It doesn't share any functionality with any of the other buttons, which is the other thing that's cool. Most of these other speakerphones, the power button also functions for other purposes. And that may be good to save from an engineering perspective on buttons, but I like to know that if I'm going to touch something, if I'm touching it, I accidentally don't trigger something else. And the fact that it's a dedicated power button makes that fail-safe. You don't have to worry about it launching an app or any of that other stuff, or accidentally muting. You don't, or also in some cases triggering the Bluetooth pairing. And that's what this other button that's alongside of it does. It's also a dedicated button. It's an actual raised button, and it gives you the ability to pair it. No guessing. Dave, how many of these devices that we've used, not just on the speakerphone side, but also on the Bluetooth side, on the headset side, that the way to launch it is by holding a button down 3 or 4 seconds. It could also do some other things and functions, and all of a sudden you're frustrated because now you went from pairing mode to something else.
Yeah, it happens. People are like, it's not turning on. It's like, well, you need to push and hold it for 4.5 seconds. How long did you hold it for? 2.5? Well, that's not good enough.
Right.
Yeah, I like the tactical feel. It gives you that feedback that some users want. Again, it doesn't necessarily make it better for everybody. Some people might like the virtual style buttons. It's just all a matter of preference.
Absolutely. And staying on the dedicated things, this is something that's kind of standard on a lot of these devices. You get that USB cable. So if you want to connect it to your PC, you can do that. Some folks may just opt for that, but that's there. So you don't have to make a choice whether you're Bluetooth or you're hardwired into the PC.
And that's also how you charge the speaker, right?
Yes, you would charge the speaker. Now, I'm glad you mentioned that. So there is on none of these guys have a charging adapter, you need a charging adapter. You can use whatever charging adapter. We also sell them as well. We have a universal car and wall charger. And we could probably get that link and throw it on here for folks if you want to get that, if we don't already have it on our carousel. Do we have it today on the carousel, Dave?
We
or
do,
no?
yeah. So what I'm showing are the bundles. The bundles of this product that include the bonus chargers. So really, customers are getting that as a gimme.
You are. So you don't have to worry about it. You can charge it in the car with this charger. You can take it home and charge it with you at home. So you don't have to sacrifice what you're doing, home or on the go.
Yeah, and real quick about that charger,
ahead.
it has 2 USB ports on it, and
Right.
it lights up blue. So you know when that thing, you know if it's getting juice or not. There's no guesswork on that.
No guesswork. No guesswork. So check that out. We have plenty of those in stock right now. Those we have plenty of. And they come with the polysync, but the polysyncs are still moving pretty fast right now. So let's go into one of the last features that is on this poly is the microphones. They have 3 microphones in an array, and these 3 microphones help it pick up sound a little bit better than some of the others. Some of these and many of the other speakerphones that are on the market that are not necessarily geared toward business. Won't name them out to single them out, but a lot of them only have 1 microphone, which means all of the sound. If this only had 1 microphone, every sound that's around, whether it's my voice, maybe if we're in the office, the guy eating potato chips and the person talking next to me at the cubicle over, all of that makes it into the microphone. In this case, it has 3 microphones, so it's going to be able to detect some of those things and try to pick up as much of your voice as possible.
Yeah, and it can also maybe accommodate a little bit larger of a room or someone
Correct.
that's standing further away, and maybe that person's not right on top of it. They might be 7 feet away, and I know that it still can pick up their audio pretty well.
That's right. Very, very, very well said, Dave. The last piece that we want to let folks know on features before we jump to the live demo and the fun part is that this does come at a different price point than some of its competitors. Ori, we have that slide on the price. Perfect. So the Polycom Sync can go up to $199, and that's the MSRP. And the difference here is that they have the version with the dongle and without. And Dave, the dongle version is cheaper. Is that right? And the price we're showing is the dongle? Yes, because it's the plus.
That's the plus. Yep.
Right. So the plus, the 20 plus, is the version that's going to include that Bluetooth USB dongle. If you need that, get that. If you don't, the non plus, the basic version, I believe it's at 169. Right, Dave?
Correct.
Does that sound about right?
$169.99.
Perfect. And so the other competitors in that ballpark that are going to compete for that business, that professional business user, are going to be your Jabra, the EPOS, which is Sennheiser, and the Yealink, which is their really up-and-coming brand, and they're really new with their hands-free devices. So that's what you're going to get in terms of a price range. And I would say for the price that you're getting for the Polycom Sync, you're getting really good bang for the buck. And, Dave, it's not always the case, I should say. It's not always the case with something that's cheaper is better. Because we sell a bunch of devices, some that are better in the higher price range. But this one is one of those exceptions to the rules. I think Polycom, Poly has gone in to really shake up the market with this price point. Because it's very aggressive compared to the other devices that are on the market in that same category.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if their pricing strategy pans out for them.
We shall see. That's right. So I am going to throw this to Dave because I'm going to set up now for our, what do we call it? We call it the splash test, the water test. So if you've seen any of the teaser or promo videos that we did earlier, you saw a little bit of what we're up to here. So I'm going to go back outside. I'm going to put on something nice and warm because it is too cold for what I've got on. So Dave, I'm going to hand the microphone back to you.
All right, so we were jokingly saying that this is the R. Kelly test. So he's gonna go outside. We're gonna get this out there. If he was in the Northeast where I am, we wouldn't be performing it. It would be nothing more than an ice test because it is just too cold. But I think where he is, it's not quite freezing, so the water will be able to flow. We did another test with water on some other products. Got some really positive feedback from that. And you know what? At the end of the day, yes, we're not. We probably won't be dumping water on our products. But accidents do happen. Things do fall in sinks. The things are left outside sometimes. Sometimes we just don't know what's going on. We forgot where something went, and our child knocked it into the toilet or whatever it might be. You know, I've never had the pleasure of dropping any of my electronics into toilet or the water, but I know people that have, and it has never been a good thing. Some of these products here, you never know what's going to happen with the environment, but I like the test that we're about to do. So we'll bring that over to Rolando in just a moment. And I think what we're doing is dumping some water on it, and then we'll test it afterwards to see what had happened. This is probably opening up Pandora's box where we'll have to do this with some of the other products. We probably won't do it with anything that doesn't have the water and dust proof ratings. But I have seen some other devices out there from Jabra that claim water resistance, waterproof, and they have stood the test. But there's something unique about this product. There's something about that material that's on top of that denim that we were discussing. It's a totally new look and feel from anything else that's out there. We'll show the audience, but it's almost like it's repelling the water, the materials that are used. It's not. It doesn't even allow it to come in, but that is to be seen. If you look down again on your carousel, we have these different bundles. If you're on Amazon, please check us out. And if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email, a text message. We're here to review these with you. So what do we got? Rolando, are you still out there? You cold yet? You get your jacket?
I don't know if you could. Can you hear me right now, Dave?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm here. Here's my hand. I'm out here. As you can see, I've got a little jacket on. Let me see. Hello. So I've got the poly.
The angle it's a vertical angle. Can you turn your camera maybe to the side a little bit?
Hold on a second.
There we go.
There we go.
There.
There
it is.
We got lucky this round. A few degrees lower, we would have been in the same situation as some of our suppliers where they're not able to get product out the door today. All right. Yeah. So we've got the poly there. We've got the water here. As you can see, I've got a big fat blue pitcher. It's almost like the old school Kool-Aid pitcher back in the day, but I think that was red. All right. So I'm going to pour some water over here on this guy. After we pour the water, we're going to bring it back in, see if it still works. See if it's all it's cracked up to be. Dave, you want to give me a countdown?
All right, ready. We got 3, 2, 1. Pour it. All right, give me a countdown.
I beat you to it.
So look at that. That is really cool.
This is real. This is the real deal here, Dave. We're not messing around.
Rolando, I was talking about how it kind of beads off. Stop doing that for just a second, just so the viewers can see. Yeah, so it does. It's like a nicely waxed car. I kind of beat it off there on the sides.
Yeah. Let me move in a little closer. How about that? Look at that. Yeah, can get a better look at that.
Not something most people would want to test with a $169 device.
$200 device. It could be ruined, never to be used again. Whoa, look at that. Wait a minute, we got a little bit more. There we go. There it is. So now, let's take a look at this. You can see there's real water coming off of there. There's no
Yeah, there
CGI
is.
going on, right? It's beating
Shake
off
it
of there. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, Dave, I'm going to throw it back to you. Make sure this doesn't drip all over my house. And then we'll connect it back to let the folks see if it actually does work.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Now back to you in the studio.
You know, I would never do that with like my cell phone or something like that. That would just be crazy. I think that there's some newer phones on the market that have that type of feature. I'm sure Polly has it and other folks have it. We know we feel very comfortable doing these tests because we know the inner engineering behind them, but I was expecting Rolando to just kind of hit it with water. I didn't know he was going to pour the entire gallon of water on that. So it was certainly an extreme test. If that works, that'll be pretty amazing. So I'm excited to see what this thing sounds like when it comes through. We had done that same type of thing with some of the Blue Parrot headsets. And they stood the test of time. I know that they're still being used. So the nice thing about this commercial product, again, it's commercial, it has a commercial price. You're going to use it forever. You will have this thing for years and years and years until you decide to upgrade. But they're just not, they're not going to fail because of a little bit of water or getting banged around. That's what they're designed to do. So, Rolando, can you hear me out there? All right, not yet. So we'll buy myself a little bit of time. Listen, everybody, if you're looking down if you're watching on Amazon down below, you'll see that we do have these all advertised. These are selling out quick. We have new inventory coming in every day. If you're trying to get in line for them, place your orders now. Give us a phone call, whatever it might be. We do have bulk discounts for folks that are looking to deploy these to their team. By all means, come on. And we're hoping that our next guest will actually be someone that's actually testing these right now with their knowledge users. They have a few. They're deploying them in the field right now as we speak. Curtis, if you're watching, shout out to you. And we'll talk about what you thought about these in the real world, hopefully next week. All right, so Rolando, are you back in the studio?
I'm back here. It took me a while. I couldn't get my earpiece. I was like, where'd it go? It's like stuck right back here. And I was like, I couldn't fish it out of my shirt. All right, so let's connect
Did you dry
this.
it?
Well, we're going to give
wet?
us a close-up cam. Oh, it's still wet. Let's see. Or go ahead and zoom in on that bad boy while I try to go back over here. Let's see.
There it is.
Oh, there we go. So you can see there's still water beating on here. As you can see that there's droplets that are still coming off. Let's show the people. Yeah, look, there's water still on there.
Yep. And is that the audio coming from that speaker?
Yeah, right now, you hear it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring it closer to the microphone. I don't know how it sounds to you, but it sounds great here.
Yeah, no, it sounds really good. I definitely think it passed the splash test.
Ori, do we have rockets or no?
No rockets today.
No rockets? He's saying no rockets? Okay. So no rockets for today. But if we could give it a rockets, I'd be giving it a 5 rocket rating on, let me turn this guy off. So 5 rockets for I would say the sound. There we go. 5 rockets for obviously being waterproof, and at the price point and with all the features combined for that business user, I would definitely say take advantage of it while it's still available.
Absolutely.
So it passes my test. It passes my own. I've been using it for 3 weeks. I've been very impressed with it, and I would highly recommend it. You have no issues. Now, again, it's only 3 weeks use. We'll see what happens at the 3-month mark or the 6-month mark. We'll keep you updated if all of a sudden it conks out. But for what do they do? Those initial ratings tests, like when you see those cars, the initial quality test. They don't know what it's going to happen in 5 years, but just based on those JD Power.
Yeah.
In our case, the global tech rating is 5 on this guy, and we'll have to see what happens from a longevity standpoint. But right now, I would highly recommend this product.
Yeah, good job, Paulie.
Absolutely, good job. So let's do a few things here. Let's remind folks, if you love this content, you want more of this, you want more splash tests, maybe you want something for us to get more aggressive with it in the future, try something different, let us know. Comment, like, subscribe, hit all the buttons and the bells and everything else. Hit them, hit them, hit them, hit them. And the more folks that we have commenting about a topic, well, the more we'll bring you that topic to you. We love engaging with folks that follow us. If you have questions, reach out to us. Our team will try to answer your questions. And if you're starting your journey looking for a device like this, we'd be glad and honored to help you on that journey, whether you're a small individual working from home or you're a large organization, an enterprise. We'd love to give you some recommendations. Dave, did I leave anything out before we go to our trivia?
No, I don't think we did. I welcome we welcome people to reach out to us, talk to us. We'd love to know what you think. Definitely interested to know about this trivia question because I have my own guess. I don't know if I'm going to be right. So let's wrap it up with that trivia.
All right. So let's throw it up there, Ori. Okay. Which one of these websites do most, I'm fouling it up here. Which of these websites do visitors spend the most time on a daily basis? Is it Google, YouTube, Amazon, Facebook, or Zoom? Now, before you reveal the answer, Ori, I'll tell you, I would have thought Zoom. So I'll just tell you that Zoom did not win this one.
No?
I would have thought Zoom because there's millions of people on Zoom, but they still didn't have the most amount of time spent per day per user. Go back to the trivia and let's reveal the answer. Facebook.
Wow.
Facebook, Dave. 18 minutes per user per day. That's insane. That's more than Zoom. What does that tell you?
I don't know what it tells us. Too much fun on Facebook, not enough work time on Zoom.
So people are spending it. Actually, Zoom is productivity tool as well as people using it for virtual get-togethers and birthdays, and we had here virtual New Year's and Christmas over Zoom, and it was longer than 7 minutes. we went and maxed out. We were like at 3 hours on that bad boy. Wow. So yeah, Facebook is the king right now of the eyeballs. They're winning the eyeball test. 18 minutes. So
absolutely.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this content like we did and bringing it to you and getting it ready for you. We'd love to see you on the next one. So stay tuned for more. And this is our new time, and we'll see you next week, next Tuesday at the same time.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good weekend.